Welcome, welcome, all you beautiful souls. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Rajith, and I'm with One Illumined Heart. I am absolutely thrilled to be sharing with you some really exciting news. The month of May, the month of July, and the rest of this year is going to be quite extraordinary for those who choose to be part of the extraordinary opportunity for humanity. So, the 5D magnetic earth frequency changes are fully here and they have arrived. So remember last year in April, I started doing videos about the portal for 5D that was opening. And this portal allowed souls who were a minimum of a spiritual frequency of 10 to begin the journey of building their own crystal bodies with the right diet, spiritual practices, etc. So it's been a year since then, and lots of people have been doing that work. In this process, when the portal opened for the building of the 5D magnetic earth, we were at 0 point, right, when it began. And now, toward the end of May, we're going to be at 80%. As of today, it's 68% completed, which is just enormously exciting. And when we are at 80% at the end of May, there will be members of humanity, millions of us, who will have the opportunity to link up to 5D magnetic Earth. And the 5D magnetic Earth grid will be completed at the end of July of 2021. So the reality is that we do have what they call a bifurcation on the planet. And you know, a bifurcation is a tear or a split. So we have 3D happening here, and 5D is happening up here. Okay. So the reality of 3D, number one, is there's a lot of darkness and a lot of polarity on the planet. Though, you know, that's always been the way that it is. But it was like 75, 80% dark, 20, 25% light. The truth is, as we move into 5D, because it is an energy of love and brotherhood, community sharing, and goals for all of life. And so we're hoping that by the end of 2021, if that's the goal, that this reality will have shifted to 70% light and 30% darkness, which is going to change the reality of how we work with each other, how we work with our land, how we work with all of life very, very, very differently. So this portal that opened up last year gave us an opportunity to make some new choices. And all of us have that opportunity to co-create a new way of living, basically. And this is possible for everyone who lives with the principles of nonviolence and love for 5D Earth. Nonviolence toward other human beings in thought, word, and deed. Nonviolence toward animals. Nonviolence toward our Earth. No more desecration of the Earth, but an honoring of this beautiful planet that is sustaining us. This video is going to be answering some questions. And so these are some of the questions that I wrote down that we'll be covering in this video. So one of them is, are you one of the starseeds or light workers who's going to be in the very first group to officially link up to 5D magnetic new Earth in the last 10 days of May? Do you have the correct criteria to do so? Are you in one of the groups to follow the original group link? What month are you joining? This year, next year? What do you need to do to be ready to link up? So the question is, number one, are you ready for this incredible divine gift? And did you do the prep work for this event, which we started talking about, if you recall, last year? In April, I started doing videos on this change that's happening on the planet and gave you the pretty nitty-gritty of how to prep your body for this event by building your crystal body, how to get your body from any other level below 10 up to a 10, practicing forgiveness, doing healing on yourself, with others, etc. Doing your prayer work, doing selfless service, whatever it took to lift you up to a higher frequency and get your body built so that your crystal body can be lifted and linked into this new magnetic grid. Okay. Were you paying attention to the information that was disseminated last year? If so, and you followed through, you are blessed because you're going to be ready to go on this train. If you did not, gosh, you have a great opportunity to bless yourself. And there's still time to do this and to get ready. And I'm happy to share with you again how. So let's dive into what's new, what's happening, with the timing of everything, and how we move forward. So over this last year, we've been doing a lot of work with meditation, doing the correct eating for our bodies to build these crystalline bodies, and doing forgiveness work with many of us, releasing past lives that are unresolved, releasing ancestral energies, which we'll talk more about later. Wherever it is that we have blocks or shadows in our being that are not connected to love, needs to get moved. We can't live in love and have fear at the same time. So addressing the fear that you might have in your system, whether it's your personal fears that you might have inherited through ancestral lineage information. So it's called, I think it's called epigenetics. Bruce Lipton talks a lot about that. So what does it mean to link up to 5D Earth, and what are the gifts? Why do you want to even link up to 5D Earth? So there are many, many reasons. The biggest one is you're going to experience a great deal more love all around. So let's talk about how that is going to show up. Number one, you are consciously linked up to a higher frequency of love, because there's a higher frequency of love that exists in 5D. And as we said, we're moving from 20% light to 70% light by December. So gosh, that's just immense changes for people's hearts, minds, and puts incredible hope into the heart of humanity. Okay, you will experience a greater awareness of being connected to your divinity, to God, to Allah, Creator, Buddha, nature, Great Spirit, whatever your religious history is or non-religious history, and you want to be more connected to nature, if that's what you believe in, and higher power, that is, something is running this that is greater than you, and you're choosing love, it all works. You will also be experiencing more connectedness to your own divinity and your own intuition. It will rise dramatically within about 3 to 4 months from the time that you do link up. What they've told me in my meditations is that within a 3-month time frame, people who will have gotten linked up from whenever the time is that they got linked up, they will have about an 80% more powerful connection to their own divinity, to their own attunement of who they are in connection with their higher self, and how that can come into expression here into the world. So it's a very exciting time that we get to have that, because when we're connected to our own higher self energy, we can take the time to listen to our own inner guidance. There's less need to be asking other people for help, because you're so connected to what is right for you. You will make choices based on that place from your center that you move out of. When you're in flow and everything flows correctly, you're moving from your center out, and you are in tandem with your higher self. When everything flows easily and with grace, you know things are going in the right direction. And so when you've got the ability to link up to that higher self of you and bring that down into consciousness, into this embodiment, we're talking an exciting time, because you then get to go co-create from the place of your heart and soul what it is you want to be doing in this embodiment. Okay, the other thing is you will know what your life options are in 5D, as well as what aspects of 5D you agreed to support. So how does that happen? Well, as you heard, I used the term link up. All right. So in 5D, there's a new magnetic Earth, and most of us who've been doing this work this last year have been feeling many, many, many surges and up levels of like electrical energy running through our bodies. Sometimes I feel like I must be plugged into 220 because there's this going through my bones and like through the center core of me. And sometimes it's a little painful because whatever is in the way of the light moving through it kind of pushes whatever it is up to the surface to be dealt with. So, when we do the link up, they say it's going to take 3 days for most people. Some people it might take 7 days to do the link up. And in that process, and in the 3 weeks within that time frame after the link up, you'll be connected to whatever download of your soul, what you have agreed to participate in here on the planet. So if you're not sure what it is you agreed to or what you want to do, there'll be options given to you. Like some people have decided they are going to do XYZ thing to help in the future of 5D Earth in building community. Some people are going to be maybe doing the engineering aspects of it. Some people may be doing the spiritual. Some people may be doing different kinds of teaching, growing food. I have no idea what it's all going to be. I don't know the technology that's going to be there. Every time I ask, they tell me that we just don't have a frame of reference to see what that's going to be like, except for it's a consciousness that's connected to nonviolence and love. So co-creating from that place is going to be magical. For most of it, it'll be work, but in alignment with love, so much gets healed, so many opportunities for healing change on the planet. For us personally, together in groups, and for the collective consciousness, as well as for the planet herself. Okay. You will also be shown options of where you could possibly live on a 5D Earth. I'm being told that for some people that may change. Some people may choose to do communities. And, you'll know after you get hooked in and downloaded where your ideal spot may be, and you might be given choices. I know several people who have made a commitment to be at certain areas on the planet after they've shifted. So know that some people are committed to a place, other people have options. So know that nothing is, set in stone. You get to have some freedom of choice here. Okay. You will also be shown where the earth changes will be. Some of them might be dramatic, and if so, not to move to that particular area, so that you can make choices that are based on wisdom and potentiality for stability. Okay, so again, we talked about you'll have the opportunity to do your own love-based reality creation. And what I keep seeing and feeling when I look into this future and I kind of bring my energy there, I see this enormous amount of love and this enormous amount of light and just this sense of joyful expression of who it is we get to be, who it is we really are, that we really get to express. So it's going to be an interesting time. So most of us who've done a lot of work on ourselves already have gotten ourselves ready for this. We've released so many skeletons in our closet, should we say, from this lifetime grief, trauma, other lifetimes that we've had to forgive people, uncurse people, ourselves, deal with issues with God, whatever it is. We've done the homework to get it out of the way, done our forgiveness work, done our devotions. So those of us who are done and are linking up in the first couple of months of this occurring, we're going to be there to be the way showers for others who are wanting to do the same thing and may not know how. They may be a high spiritual frequency, but what could be blocking them from joining and going up could be that there are some things in the way that they need to clear up. Or they may not have built their crystal body. Their diet may be not correct. And so, whatever it is, we're going to find remedies for it. And there's room for everyone who chooses to do love to move into this new reality. And I just say, gosh, let's welcome each other with open arms, with love, with hope, with a dream for a better today and a better tomorrow and better many tomorrows to come. Okay, the other thing that will happen, the other gift that you're going to get, is our physical bodies. Once we've built our crystal bodies, will begin to emanate light. And that will be at about 20% within the 3 months of getting linked up. And that would depend on how many layers of crystal body you have already built. So there's a possibility of you having a max of 6 layers done. It takes about a year to do 6 layers. We're supposed to do 24 in all. So it'll take 4 to 5 years to complete those 24 layers of a crystal body. But some people may only be going up with 2 layers of crystal body, which means they may not emanate the 20% light yet. It may take a little bit longer for them. Like some people may light up in the first 3 weeks because they've done the work. They may be a level 4, 5, or 6 already. And so their body is ready to start emanating that light from that new magnetic earth. And those who are not there yet will absolutely get there as they continue to build that crystal body. The other thing that I think is so exciting and so wonderfully healing is that you will be fully held, loved, and taken care of in 5D. It's not that somebody else is going to do things for you. It's just that the energy that embraces us, holds us in the reality of love and support, acknowledges the beauty and the essence of everyone's soul, no matter who you are, no matter where you've come from, whether you're poor, whether you're rich, doesn't matter. Whether you've been spiritual a long time or spiritual a short time, it doesn't matter. All of our souls are made out of this beautiful essence of divine love in the creation of humanity. This is, in the Bible it says that we are made in his image, and the image is light and sound. That's what we're made out of. Our bodies vibrate sound. Our bodies vibrate light. We're just moving into a dimensional frequency that's going to expand the amount of light that we're actually able to emanate out. And that emanation will increase over the 4 years when we get to our 24 layers. I don't know how bright that will be, but I'm excited to see it. Okay, so the question then becomes, what was the preparation for the 5D New Earth link up? So as I said earlier, we've been doing this, getting ready for a year. And the link up will take 3 to 7 days, and it will take an additional about 2 weeks of downloads at the beginning of the light bodies beginning to emanate light. The first group of participating humans have to be a minimum of a level 11 on up spiritual frequency, and have to have a minimum of a crystal body level of 2. So that means they have had to have been working on building that crystal body for 4 to 6 months, depending on their diet. Okay, and I said that already, that we have 24 layers that we have to build. Okay. One of the requirements, we talked earlier about it being 5D being a non-violent, love-based reality. So killing of animals for food is violence. So one of the precepts that we talked about last spring and during the summer in all my videos is a reminder that you must leave off eating foods that have eyes. So, chickens, turkey, birds of all kinds, right? Cows, pigs, sheep, horses, alpacas. I mean, whatever, bears, whatever, deer, whatever it is. Nothing with eyes, period. That includes ultimately fish. Although fish is the least karmic intensive as you're doing your switchover, your transition diet. Transition diets normally don't take more than 3 to 4 months. For people, if they are full-on meat eaters, 2 to 3 meals a day, they'll probably take 3 to 4 months to shift off. I've known a couple of people who've said, okay, I'm going to do this in a month. One person who did a cold turkey, like they said, okay, this is what I want to be doing, and shifted over. And they had to have some little extra guidance with their naturopathic doctor to make sure that they were getting their proteins and their vitamins and the enzymes that they needed to go from a meat-based to a plant-based diet. So we want to live in the least non-violent way possible. Eating plant food is the least non-violent base. So that means fruits, nuts, legumes. You can have dairy from cows, cheeses, and all that kind of stuff. And eventually you'll switch over to being fully vegan. But in the beginning, it's totally fine to do that. And it might be fine for a year or two. I have no idea. Everybody's body is going to be different and will know exactly what to do. I know some people are saying, like, there's no way I'm going to give up cheese. And I was raised on cheese. I was from Europe, and we were raised on cheese. It was hard. So now I'm pretty much not eating cheese more than once or twice a week. And I'm actually good with like not having it at all. But it did take me a little while to say, okay, it's time to let this go. Also, my body didn't like it as much. All right. So let's see here. So as I said, the first link up will occur at the end of May for people who have the right frequency and who've made a commitment to do this from either 5,000 years ago or 200 years ago. If they're ready, they're ready. Okay, then it will take a few weeks after that. All of us will be getting linked up, and then we'll be guiding other people into them getting ready and making sure that they're at the place where they can also link up. So bi-weekly link ups is what I'm being told in my meditations will begin occurring after June 17th as different groups of humanity all around the globe. There is no country, no nationality, no race that is excluded. You get to the right place, you get to go up. You have the right energy, the right attitude. It's all a benefit. If you're all about love and all about caring for one another and the earth, and you're eating the right food and got that crystal body built, you're good to go. Okay. 5D, remember, is a love and mutual cooperation based reality, as I said earlier. The reduction in darkness is going to be huge from 80 to 30% darkness. That's a lot. Okay. So we covered eating the correct diet. Oh, a reminder. So remember, don't eat mushrooms. For carbon-based bodies, yes, mushrooms are fabulous to fight cancer, all kinds of illness. But if you don't have cancer, don't eat mushrooms. Mushrooms and algae, spirulina, chlorella, and other algae make your grid wobbly. So like your crystal grid can build the first couple of layers if you have mushrooms once in a while. But after that, after the third layer, if you continue, you can continue to eat mushrooms and algae, but your grid won't build. I've run into one client who didn't believe me. and, and so her grid is like this. It's like wobbly. What we want is we want it to be like Legos, nice and tight. So we can't eat the beloved mushrooms. And I'm a total mushroom lover. So now I go to my favorite vegan Thai food restaurant and make sure that, and they say, no mushrooms? I said, no, no mushrooms. Mushrooms aren't good for me right now. I'm not going to explain to them that it's all about the light body network that we're building. Although I want to stand on my soapbox and do exactly that, because I think every human being should have the right to do this. Okay. Remember also, I know I see this on Facebook, on YouTube, people doing all these ayahuasca trainings and lifting into the astral reality to get messages and begin building their spiritual body, and they're having spiritual journeys. And in the old days, those were viable ways of beginning to get in touch with that for some people. It was used in cultures for the medicine men to get messages, and for the tribal leaders to get messages from Great Spirit in that altered place of consciousness. We don't need that anymore. And actually, that creates a scarring in the energy field of the brain and makes it more difficult to do this lifting up into higher frequency. It creates holes in your energy field, and you can end up with attachments that aren't so friendly, that it can actually dissuade you from moving forward, can keep you from doing your meditations, will try to drive you back toward the drugs so that they can play vicariously in your field. So please be wise and don't partake of that. Don't partake of cocaine, even marijuana. I mean, I'm seeing all these young people and older people smoking marijuana, taking in a lot of that THC, and their grid looks like Swiss cheese. It's got holes everywhere and dark energies. I just the other day ran into one person, and they had 27 entities connected to them that were not helpful. They were draining this person's psychic field. So I want you to know this stuff is real. Love yourself and choose to not use those energies to try to find your spirituality. You're already a spiritual being. It just takes time. You have to find your path of meditation that's right for you, to begin lifting and building that up so that you can connect through your own embodiment to your own higher level truth, to your own astral energy, to your own causal plane energy, to your own divinity. Let it not be used with a hallucinogenic substance that can actually derail your spiritual growth, ultimately. So it's just a choice. If you played with it in that arena and you know what it's like, and you may have a hard time getting off of it, but there's lots of help around. And know that you're not wrong or bad. You were just experimenting. It's not a big deal, but it's time to stop if you want to live in a love-based, nonviolent reality, because you can't take that kind of broken energy with you up there. All right, so I'm saying that from the heart of love. I've had many people in my life who've had addictions, and I totally get how tough it is. But I want you to know, all of us are here to hold your hand if you're having trouble. I think it's important to say, I need help if you are addicted. And if you just use it once in a while, then I'm sure it's easy for you to say, we're not going to do this. Alcohol is also, it's vegetarian. It's true. Somebody told me, well, alcohol is vegetarian. Wine comes from grapes. Yeah. What is it? I can't remember what Jack Daniels is made of. I don't know whether it's rye, barley, or whatever. Anyway, yes, it's vegetarian. However, more than one drink, not a good idea, because it puts holes in your field, similar to the hallucinogens. And you do it enough days in a row, you end up with beings in your field that you may not want to have be there. Okay, enough on that. The other thing that we encouraged people to do last year, and have been doing this for the last year, is to do their light-filled spiritual practices. So whatever form of prayers, meditations, whether these are meditations connected to a spiritual path or a particular religion, or meditations that have to do with nature or self-empowerment and love. It doesn't matter. It's your choice. Some people also love to do hymnal singing or singing their mantras or singing prayers. Whatever warms your heart, whatever your heart is connected to, is what would be good for you to use. Okay. So, selfless service to humanity, the planet, and animal life on the planet was also recommended because that helps to lift your spiritual frequency. And it shows also that you are wanting to share love and healing for the planet as well as for yourselves. Okay. And I said no alcohol already. I skipped ahead. Okay. Again, living with principles of nonviolence. Love is the energy of 5D. And loving ourselves. So we know that forgiveness work is really essential in this process. So I am going to let you know that on Mondays, in the late afternoons, Pacific Coast time, and there's some, and then I'll do a morning group on forgiveness that you can join. I'm not having more than 20 people in a group. I will post it on my Facebook page, One Illumined Heart. You can reach me at info@oneilluminedheart. You can join us to lift up your frequency, move whatever needs to be forgiven within yourself for you, between you and God, between you and others, between you and the collective, whatever it is that needs to go. Let's help you clear that energy field. I'll also be doing some Facebook lives as well as YouTube lives. Looking for technical help to help me get this off the ground. So I'm hoping to be able to start doing that this coming week. I think it's really important to have people listen to the videos and then ask questions. So you can write to me at info@oneilluminedheart and ask questions, and I'll be able to answer them. I'm hoping to find somebody to let me know what the questions might be on the lives. I have a couple people that I think are available to help me do that. So we'll be able to do lots of work together. I think this opportunity for 5D Magnetic Earth is pretty amazing, amazing, amazing. And I think because we don't have a frame of reference for what's coming, I do know that we all need to take the time to get quiet, to do our prayers, to connect to the inside of us that is connected to the Creator or divinity, and be in that place of deep love for ourselves, with the divine, with one another, with our animals, with Mother Earth. It all needs so much healing. So I would like to, at the end of this video now, I would like to do the Great Invocation of Light prayer. And it's so beautiful, and it can be for any religion. It's a prayer for the world as well as yourself. And it's called the Great Invocation of Light, I believe. You can get it, look it up on the internet, and there is in Wikipedia. It also has some interesting history and other links to kind of make this a broader experience. All right. So I would like to start all my prayers with acknowledging the divine within myself and others. And it's really beautiful to start with acknowledging that this royal blue light of divine love that we're connected to, our human souls are connected to, If we bring that in to the fullest extent our energy field can hold, which is, I believe at this point, the maximum is 5,000 feet. Most people are anywhere between 2,000 and 3,000 feet. But the higher up spiritual frequency you go, the bigger your energy field gets, and the more royal blue you hold. And royal blue equals the consciousness of God, connected to the human soul and the body. So when we fill our field and then run that energy through us and we do our prayer, you can feel that prayer just move through you much more intensely than otherwise. The other two colors they want us to do today is the violet spectrum of light. And the violet spectrum of light has to do with God's love and support for us in the body. And so you're going to go from lavender to deep violet. And some of you might have a need for more magenta, which helps to heal personal relationships. And others of you, and some of you, we may need both. I've been in that place, may need more fuchsia in your field. And fuchsia has to do with material and financial abundance, allowing that to bring you greater stability. Now, just breathing in the colors won't do it on its own. Sometimes we have blocks in our energy field that keep those things at low levels because of things that we've said, that we've done, or we've not yet healed. Know that there are plenty of healers out there who can help you move those blocks. And I'll be doing groups right away because there's an extreme need to get people ready and linked up. Okay, so let's start with taking in some deep breaths into our center. And I'm going to recommend that you bring your hands, palms up on your lap if you can. Just kind of wiggling yourself loose, lifting your shoulders and bringing them down. Allowing yourself to kind of move into a sweet, deep, quiet place of relaxation. Choosing now to connect with your higher self. Focusing on the place between your eyebrows, your third eye area that connects to your pineal gland. Which connects to your spirituality. Consciously breathing in royal blue light. And giving permission for royal blue light to be as big around you as possible, what your field can hold. A minimum of 2,000 feet to a maximum of 5. And with every breath, give permission for that field to grow stronger. And on the fourth breath, give permission for that color to move through your physical body, through every strand of hair, through every cell and all your bones, including the marrow of your bones, where your new cells are made. Deeply centering, allowing the violet spectrum of light from lavender to ultraviolet to move that into your energy field. Allowing that to run all the way through you, through your bones, through the tips of your fingers, through the tips of your toes, and extending out into the universe. And now again, this time breathing yellow and give permission for the universe to send you as many shades of yellow as your body needs to allow judgment to be released, to allow judgments and criticisms to be healed, to be willing to let go of whatever thoughts and experiences, whatever traumas you may have had, and allow them to just be released with love. Remembering to take the lesson from whatever your experience was, and moving in the greater light to bring harmony and balance. Good. Now, as you stay in your quiet place, I'm going to read very slowly the prayer of the Great Invocation. From the point of light within the mind of God or Creator, let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light descend upon earth. From the point of love within the heart of God or Creator, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May love and the energy of the mastership of Christ's from many lineages return to the earth. From the center where the will of God or Creator is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose which the masters know and serve from the many lineages that they have come in embodiment. From the center, which we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out. And may it seal the door where evil dwells. Amen. So as you stay in this quiet place, I'm going to suggest to everyone to take the time to pray for our planet every day, to send love to all the people and to Mother Earth, to thank the Divine for sending healing help and wisdom to the leaders of countries that want to go to war. Let us pray for peace, for bridges of communication, stretching out the olive branch and finding new ways to come to understandings that move from the place of the heart into the throat to speak the desires of the divine in our souls for peace, love, and brotherhood. This is an important moment for me to share with you that there is a lot of confusion out there. there's a lot of darkness. There's a lot of possibilities of things that people are very nervous about that are going on the planet that is good to be aware of, but not to focus on. When we move toward 5D consciousness, we're moving there by choice. You have the choice and the power as a sovereign being to choose love. As we are aware of what's going on the world, we don't want to connect to it. We don't want to immerse ourselves in that drama. We want to move to the collaboration of the co-creation of a loving world where we work harmoniously with one another. That is the vision I choose to hold. I say my prayers for those who are in 3D consciousness. And I pray that everyone wakes up to the notion that you can't have fear and love in the same place. Love is love, and it comes from a much higher place. It comes from the heart, and it comes from the wisdom of the soul and our higher chakras. Fear is very much the first 3 chakras. It's about people creating fear. It's about people controlling people with fear, people judging fear. It's all there. And we want to move out of that. We want to move into a place of love. So thank you so much for being with me today. And by the way, today is April 23rd. And I'm glad you are on this ride. And know that love from the many of us who are awake and who have worked very hard to be awake. We are here to hold your hand, to hold your hearts, and to hold one another's hands as we move forward and upward into the reality based on love that will bring greater joy to all of us. Okay, namaste, many blessings to all of you.